Today's video, we will be focusing on red flags that you should look out for in any relationship. The truth is, God created us to connect, to meet people, to have relationships, and to not be in isolation. But somehow, some relationships tend to make us better, while some other relationships have tendencies to break us, to damage our self-esteem. Some relationships are toxic. And that is why it's very important for people to be able to identify and recognize red flags in any relationships. Broadly speaking now, any relationships, be it family, marriage, friendship, workplace, it's important for people to identify red flags in relationships and know how to find a way around managing the people whom they are involved in this relationship with for their own mental health and their own sanity. I will be discussing what red flag is in a relationship, how people can identify and recognize red flags, some red flags that you should be mindful of, what to do when your relationship is certified unhealthy. I welcome you very specially to my channel, the Intentional Womanhood and Family Life channel. My name is Gloria. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. If you're seeing my face on YouTube for the first time, you're welcome. And so let's dive right into this video. What are red flags? Now, to the simplest definition I could come up with, red flags are those subtle, manipulative, and unhealthy behavior that some people, put out in a relationship. The behaviors are unacceptable, they are unhealthy, and they try to dish it out to people whom they find in relationship with them. One very dangerous thing about red flag is that it's unrecognizable at the early stage. It creeps in slowly, begins to magnify gradually, and if not attended to or if not noticed, it begins to turn into something almost incurable until it had done so much damage to the lives of those involved. The moment you decide to go into an intimate relationship with someone, then you must decide to pay attention to the very detail of the person's character. Because you know why? Character ties very closely to every angle of the health of that relationship. The person's behavior is what transitions into what you get out of that relationship. And that's why in the definition of red flag, I said it's the unhealthy behavior. It has to do basically with the character of the people who are involved. So red flag number one, this is something that you should pay attention to. Pay attention to people who are overly domineering or overly controlling. To be controlling is when you want someone to literally stop being who they are and start being who you want them to be. Everyone is unique and everyone should be allowed to portray their authentic self in a relationship. I understand that people have preferences and differences, and that's the beauty of life, that we have differences, and it's in our differences that we are supposed to agree, compromise, and come to an understanding. But when someone does not want to understand your difference and is trying to force you out of your beliefs, out of your inclinations, out of the things that you have always known all your life, forcing you to key into what they want for you, they're controlling where you go to, controlling what you look like, controlling who you talk to, then that person, that is a red flag. People who are overly domineering and controlling do it not for their own, not for your own good. Actually, they're not doing it for your own good, not because they love you, not because they like you, not because they want to see the good out of you or want to make you a better person, but it's just because of their own selfish interest. There's something they really want for themselves, and that's why they're trying to bottle you into that lifestyle that will fit who they really want you to be. That's not healthy at all. A healthy relationship will appreciate that we are different. However, can we try to come to a compromise and an understanding on how to, bring our differences together for mutual collaboration, and we'll still be happy at the end of the day. Now, another thing to consider in a relationship that you can pay attention to is if they trust and respect you. The truth is, trust is very fundamental and is very foundational. Every solid and healthy relationship is built upon trust. Without trust, then there is no headway for that relationship, basically. So trust can also be earned by how someone has shown reliance, has shown dependability, how they have been able to be there. When they say something, are they true to what they say? Are they consistent? Can you hold them to their words and they stand by it? Do they say something and do another thing? Okay, so when someone show that they are trustworthy, That's a healthy sign. But when they show that they are not trustworthy, when they tell you something and you find out something else about them, that is a red flag you should watch out for. So the truth of the matter is, anyone who is not trustworthy does not deserve your time, does not deserve your attention. So trustworthiness is foundational, it is basic, and it is very important, almost indispensable, because if there is no trust, then what exactly are you doing with someone whom you do not trust? You should be able to tell that when they say something, they stick by it. They have great values, they have, they have sense of integrity, they have values of truth, values of dependency, they are reliable, they're able to, stand by what they say, basically. So that sense of trust is very important, and it's vice versa. You also should be able to earn trust from people. The moment that you are found trustworthy, then it's a good sign for a healthy relationship. Now, respect is closely tied to distrust. Respect is very important. A person who does not respect you does not deserve you. The person who can talk to you in a condescending manner, who can talk to you with disdain, or who can treat you like a piece of trash, does not value you and will not value you. If someone whom you are in a relationship with over time, shows or displays attitudes that, come out as being disrespectful, even when you have tried to, make them understand that you do not accept things like this. And that brings me to talking about acceptance. The things you accept goes a long way to tell how you will be treated. Now, if someone talks to you in a condescending manner and talks to you without any iota of respect, and you accept it, the person does it the first time, you excuse them, you keep quiet, you don't say anything, you don't address it, they talk to you that way another time, and it's okay, my dear, you have given them the license to keep addressing and talking to you in that manner. So respect is very important. And the truth again about respect is the way that you talk to your partner, the way that you show them respect rubs off automatically and builds their self-esteem. It makes them feel better about who they are, right? And when you do not respect them, it also has an effect on their self-esteem. It tears them down. It makes them not see anything good in themselves. And the truth is, the people around who see that you disrespect this person, somehow, it may be unconsciously or even consciously, begin to also do the same, because they feel, after all, why not? If you can disrespect her, then why won't we? By that, you see that your friends, your family begins to disrespect the person because of how they've seen you disrespect them. So two things: for you who is being disrespected, please do not accept it, do not tolerate it. And for you who is, disrespecting, understand that everyone deserves to be treated as human respectfully, because we are logical beings, we are intelligent beings, and we deserve that respect. So the moment you discover this trait in them, that is a red flag to watch out for. Do you want to continue to be abused verbally, being disrespected in public and in private? Do you want to continue to feel less of who you are because of the words that has been thrown at you, and you're gradually beginning to believe those words? If yes, then I'm sorry, you are sitting on a long thing. And if no, then you should begin to make very conscious effort to either exit that relationship or take a pause and critically analyze this red flag I just shared with you. Now, another red flag would be, do people that love you love them? I hope you understand. Do people that love you, your family, your close friends, do they love them? If it's a guy, do they love him? If it's a girl in question, do they love her? So you need to pay attention to this. And this brings me to talking about when you say that love is blind. Now, you who is in the middle of this ocean of love could be blinded. You may not be seeing what other people are logically seeing, and they may be talking to you about it, but you wouldn't really want to listen because you're so in love. I'm so in love. I'm so. And so because you are just drowning in the ocean of love, you feel that, oh, okay, this person is so perfect for me, I don't care what people say. No, really, it's something to care about. That's a red flag. If the people that care so much about you, feel that you should pause and you should look at the person again, or they are not very comfortable, or they are telling you things like, I don't think this person is good enough for you. I don't think you should go for this person. Or I think you should give him more time. What do you think? Don't you think you're too fast? Don't you think you're running on the fast lane? Do you want to slow down a bit? Do you want to look at him or her again? If they begin to tell you things like that, then honestly, girl, guy, I think you should listen to them. You see that the people around you, your mother, your father, your siblings, your close friends, are telling you to slow down. They are not comfortable. They don't like them. They are not convinced that this person is the right person for you. No matter how, how rational you think you might be thinking, there might be an iota of truth in what they are saying, and it's okay to pause a bit, to look deeply into what they are saying, give it a critical thought, and look at it from there. That just might be a red flag that you want to look at. It might save you from going through pain in that relationship. Now, another one would be, do they draw you closer to God, or are they consistent with God? Are they consistently pulling you closer to God? That is another thing to consider. Now, if they are not consistently pulling you closer to God, then that might also be a red flag. Now, studies have shown that what somebody tells you within the first hour of you meeting them goes a long way to tell you what's their focus, what their priority, and what they value most in their lives. And so when you have to ask them about their spiritual walk, how close they are with God, and how consistent they are with God, and they get to tell you, oh, I'm working on it, I'm trying to start to go to church, my dear, that might just be a red flag, okay? So the truth is, the spirituality of someone ties a lot to other angles of their lives, like I said earlier, okay? So when the spiritual life of the person you're in a relationship is on point, and you know that they're consistent with God, you get to know about what you think, what your views are about divorce. Is divorce an option, or is it totally off the table? Is polygamy an option? How do you raise your kids? What kind of kids do you want to raise? Things like that. What's your opinion? What's your decisions about finances, about charity, about tithes and offerings? You are right on the same page, right? Your values kind of align based on your spiritual faith, the faith you share together. And so when you have to ask them and they are kind of inconsistent, then you might want to give it a thought. You might want to look at it very closely again, and that just might be another red flag to look at. Now, another red flag would be when you do not have healthy conflicts. Now, healthy conflicts is really important in a relationship. I don't mean dirty fights. I mean kind of fights for resolutions, not fight for victories. When I mean fight for victories, I mean sometimes people are in a fight and they just want to show that, yes, I'm going to win you, or you'll be the one to come and apologize. Let's see who is going to win at the end of this, or things like that. You're fighting for victory. You're trying to show that you're a lot more powerful than the other person. No, not that kind of fight. Or you're fighting dirty. You're going all around tarnishing the image of the other person just because you have a conflict. No, not that kind of fight. The kind of conflict that may have arisen because of some kind of disagreements. It's natural to disagree. Yes, it's natural to disagree. So you are agreeing, you are having that conflict for the sake of resolution, for the sake of getting better at it. So when you don't even have conflict at all in the relationship, that could be a red flag already, because it could come out as is somebody trying to manage their emotions so much that they just want to manage it carefully until they get into marriage, so they don't have an outburst and think that, okay, that might just end the relationship. So some people might just be so desperate to be in that relationship, and they're carefully and managing their emotions so much that they just want to carefully wait until they are finally married and the relationship is kind of sealed before they can be themselves. No, conflicts help you know the other side of another person. It helps you understand how the person reacts to certain things and what the boundaries are, what I can tolerate, what I can accept, and the things I do not accept. Conflict helps you know how to resolve and even build a more healthier relationship. So look out for that. If there are no conflicts within a reasonable, length of time within the relationship, and you think that this person is kind of too nice to be true, then you need to pause a bit. Now, I'm not saying that there are no exceptions. Yes, there are exceptions, and this is going to even make me film another video where I will be bringing my husband on board, and we'll be discussing how our relationship went, how our courtship went, and how we handled conflicts, and how we did not have conflicts for almost a year into the relationship. So that's possible. Yeah, that's very, very possible. However, there's something called a healthy conflict, and it's also advisable that relationships experience it just so that it helps them grow even better. So another red flag to consider is when a partner abuses substance. So when there's a substance abuse in that relationship, that's a huge, huge red flag. Because what substance does is, it could be any substance, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs. Just any substance abuse can gradually lead to addiction, and addiction can lead to physical abuse, emotional abuse, and all of that. So you don't want to be in a space with someone who does not have control over their, over their emotions, who cannot, be in check, and who also does not really love themselves so much that they can keep away from things like that. Because the truth is, it affects your health. You want to build a relationship and a future where you're having a healthy relationship, you're bringing up healthy children, and you want to have time and you want to live long to be able to raise them. So if you already are having issues with abusing substances when you are still young in the relationship or in this dating stage, so how long is the relationship would you have to, handle that? So you have to care for the person enough to say, you know what, you need help. Take the person for medical care and therapy if you have to, because the truth is the person does really need help. So no one should tolerate substance abuse. So that's a huge, huge red flag. What, abuse of substance does literally beclouds your judgment. It makes you condescend low, very low to, to standards that you would ordinarily not want to condescend to. And it doesn't make you appear to be that very responsible human, that is responsible for their health and their future and their lives. So you want to, by all means, pause, look at the person and be sure that this is what you want for yourself. Another thing to consider as a red flag in the relationship is when the person pushes you away from God. Is your relationship with them limiting you, as slowing your pace at which you walk with God? If yes, then that is a huge, huge red flag. Say you used to go to church before now, and then you begin this relationship with this person, and suddenly you stop going to church, or you stop doing the things you used to do before, or the person makes you feel like you are too religious for them. And then because you feel like you're too religious, and because you don't want to appear too religious for them, you begin to lower your standards, you begin to try to succumb to their own way. Even the Bible says, do not be conformed. And so you have to pay very close attention to who is making you draw back and who is making you not having the zeal and the fire that you used to have before. If you have watched up till this time, please do well to give this video a thumbs up, give it a like. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. It's very important for you to build a healthy relationship. Build a healthy relationship just so that your mental health is guarded. You live a better, healthier life. The people around you matters a lot and contributes to the quality of life that you live at the end of the day. If you found this video useful, please do well to hit the red subscribe button, like it, share it to those who you feel will find it very useful. And thank you again for watching. Until I see you again in my next video. Bye for now.